just when you think you're done, just when you think you're about to move on from a region, she comes calling you back. We do have one last Pokemon to catch before we completely call it a wraps on Pokemon Soul Silver. While our playthrough is ended, this segment is going to be included in our Pokemon Platinum playthrough. I did kind of forget this one. We did go back and catch Latios, I think it was, the blue one, but we did not come back in and get our Groudon. Now we have Kyogre through our Sapphire playthrough. We don't have Groudon. Thankfully, they thought of this back in the day and they thought, people aren't going to have a way of really completing their living Pokedexes and whatnot, because people who played Sapphire but didn't have Ruby aren't going to have a way to catch both. So thankfully, that will not be a problem for us. Go, Gengar. This might be a tough catch, though. We'll have to wait and see. I do kind of want to keep Groudon from using any status moves, though. We're going to pull out Taunt. Yeah, see? It knows rest. It's going to break out of all of them anyway, so we might as well use them. The sunlight is strong. Okay. Groudon's pretty heavy. Let's see if we can get it to stay in a heavy ball. It was scary how easy that was. That too expanded the lands by evaporating water with raging heat. It battled titanically with Kyogre. Well, all right then. The tower that binds together the sea, the land, and the sky. See you around indeed. Okay. Well, that, like I said, that turned out to be easier than I thought. All right, well, we have our Groudon. Now we can just jump back over to Sinnoh and continue right along with our playthrough through Pokemon Platinum. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to more Pokemon Platinum. We got Groudon, and we did that with relative ease. I'm not gonna lie, when I sat down to record that segment, I thought, well, this is gonna take me at least 30 minutes or more, and I'm gonna end up having to edit this bad boy down. But lo and behold, Groudon was willing and ready to join us, join the team. Speaking of team, before we go any further in this Pokemon Platinum playthrough, I want to take a moment to run you guys around and show you everything that I worked on behind the scenes. Now, as I've done with Pokemon Leaf Green, Soul Silver, Sapphire, and pretty much every other game we played, it's not just the retro Pokemon games, but I did that with the modern games as well, from Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu to Pokemon Sword, Pokemon Violet, Legends Arceus. What we play on screen is done for your benefit and your entertainment. But even my content at the end of the day, which is long format and can be quite tedious and boring if you've got like TikTok brain and Gen Z brain, my content is not really up your alley. But even for my slow, boring content, it would be asking too much to sit down and watch me breed 1,000 eggs, run back and forth on my bicycle for like an hour, hatching egg after egg after egg to fill in the gaps that, you know, for our living decks. So a lot of that ends up getting done off screen. Now, I wish it didn't have to be done off screen, but unfortunately a lot of it does. So we're going to take a beat and we're going to take a tour around our living decks. We're starting with the Kanto region. These Pokemon were found or gathered all from our Pokemon Leaf Green playthrough. I did the same thing here with Platinum that I did with Leaf Green. A lot of the Pokemon had to be ported in from other people's saves. And then what I did is like, I brought in somebody else's Venusaur, made an egg for myself, and then boom. Or no, we started with Venusaur, so I guess I did that with these three, didn't I? Because for this playthrough, instead of choosing Blastoise like I always do, we had chosen Bulbasaur as our starter for Leaf Green, which means that we had Venusaur. Okay, so I did that with Blastoise and Charizard. I brought them in and made eggs. And the rest is kind of self-explanatory. The version exclusives I got off of my Fire Red save. A friend of mine had wanted me to play through that for them because they were working on a project and didn't want to have to play through multiple copies. So that was kind of fortuitous for us. Ditto is here. Ditto is who comes after Lapras. Ditto is just still in the daycare from all the egg making. Our Mew is a distribution Mew. It is this particular Mew appears to have come from the Wii app or the Wii game, Pokemon Ranch. I want to say if you uploaded 1,000 Pokemon to Ranch, you were able to get Mew as a gift. And then of course I went in and filled in the gaps. You know, we chose Cyndaquil as our starter for Soul Silver, and then we filled in the gaps by breeding eggs. Now, we were missing a shit ton of Johtos, so Johto has kind of been the hardest to fill in. I think the last Johto was Igglybuff. I think the other night when I was working on this, Igglybuff might have been the last Johto I added. Some of them were kind of a pain in the ass. There was Politoed, there was Slowking. It required their trait evolutions. Politoed and Slowking both have to hold the King's Rock, trade them to evolve them. But since we're doing the show and we're doing emulated, I don't have a way to trade, so I had to use my save editor to kind of to get us there. But with that little caveat out of the way and being acknowledged, all the Pokemon are quote unquote legal. All of them are from our own trainer ID. A lot of them required, like I said, just daycare, a lot of daycare stuff. Kingdra's another one that had to be horse traded. Manaphy and Donphan were agitating because I could have swore Fanphy, I said Manaphy, didn't I? Donphan and Fanphy were really agitating because I could have sworn that Fanphy was available south of, what is it, Blackthorn City in Johto, but I ran around and could not find one to save my life. So we just brought in somebody else's Donphan, made an egg, and boom. I think that's everything I needed to. Oh, one of the other biggest pains in the ass was getting Hitmontop. I probably did 3.5 to 4 waves of egg making, and they just kept coming out Hitmonlee. We had a few Hitmonchans in there, but I just kept getting Hitmonlee every time we evolved. Of course, you know, when you evolve Tyrogue at level 20, if its attack is higher, I want to say that's Hitmonlee. If its defense is higher, I want to say that's Hitmonchan. If attack, it could be reversed. If its attack and defense are equal, at level 20, you get Hitmontop. That one was a little bit of annoyance. I did have to go back and like hunt down a few that we were missing. It says faraway place, but it came from the ice cave in Soul Silver. I guess they made Pokemon Platinum before making Soul Silver. That would kind of explain a lot. Let's see. And of course, the roaming trio, both our birds, the Celebi, not move. Celebi is also an event Pokemon that we had to grab, winter 2011. I don't really know much about this distribution. I think that it was required to do the time traveling event and the Soul Silver stuff, so we nabbed that off the internet as well. Now our Sapphire playthrough gave us the majority of the Sapphire Pokemon, but I did have to go in and do some breeding again for some of the version exclusives that we weren't getting from Ruby, because I wasn't going to sit through Ruby just to get a couple of Pokemon. But we did fill in the gaps, as you can clearly see. Not really anything major to report here, just a lot of breeding. You two are reversed. You can see I didn't even bother. Egg hatched in the box you go at level 1. I just couldn't be bothered. I will note that Absol was available to go catch in game. I didn't need to breed it. I just had to go to Mount Coronet and find it. It's at 5% appearance rate. What was the other Pokemon of note? I want to say Zangoose is also available, but I didn't feel like waiting, so I just egged that sucker. This is the Groudon from the beginning of today's episode that we grabbed from Soul Silver. Jirachi is another, what do you call it? Event distribution Pokemon that I had to grab off the internet. I have no idea the history of this one. Original trainer channel. I don't know anything about it. I just know I grabbed it off the internet. The same with Deoxys. I want to say this, yeah, GameStop Deoxys. This is one of the few events I actually was in person for. In the very early days of distribution for Pokemon, I didn't get a lot because a lot of them were Toys R Us exclusives before GameStop started getting them as well. But I do remember, I remember Deoxys being one of the first, and I could see my screen's also cut off. So while I'm talking, let me go in and fix that. Yeah, I resized the window for the game because I was playing from the couch, and I wanted to be able to see it in full screen. So let's see, that's not what I wanted to do. Okay. You guys get to kind of see some behind the scenes stuff, huh? Just pull this over here, then we just pull this down here. There we go. Sometimes it can be hard to get the screens just right. Okay, there we go. Okay, now back to it. Now, for the rest of these, we don't have all the Sinnoh Pokemon. I did work on as much of it as I could / felt like. I couldn't be bothered to put in more effort than this right now because the other sections took an exhausting amount of effort and time. I went back and got us another Luxio to fill in the gap. I filled in the fossil gaps. There's a lot of honey tree Pokemon, and that's what's slowing me down. We got lucky. We got really lucky with Munchlax. But as far as like Burmy and Combi and I don't remember who else, those are going to be a pain in the ass. But I'm sticking by my word. I want to finish the Pokedex in Platinum, and I want to do that before we move on to Black and White, because I want to be able to call on any, well, with Pokemon Black and White, one of the things that I want to focus on is I want to use Pokemon only found from the Unova region. We're not gonna, if we port these Pokemon forward, it will be like at the end of the game just to fill in the Pokedex, the national decks. We're not going to be calling on any Pokemon from our past playthroughs. We're going in 100% fresh when we play Black and White. Now, we will keep these Pokemon and we will keep porting them forward each generation until we get to the Switch era. And then that's where it stops, because we already have a living dex in Pokemon Home, and I don't really need to keep porting these Pokemon forward. But I'll always have them saved on the computer. I will hang on to our little critters here in case we ever need them for any, emulation reasons or streaming reasons. We'll have them. Let's see. We still need to go and get Dialga and Palkia. I got to remember who goes here. Let me think. We did the Porygon stuff, Rotom. Yeah, we're just gonna have to keep fighting with the honey trees until we can get everybody, But I guess that about sums up all of our work on our living decks. And now we kind of just need to get back to the grind. Put everybody back in our party. I don't know what we're going to do with this extra Giratina. I still can't believe we caught that one so easily. I can't believe we caught Groudon so easily, if I'm being completely honest. Okay. We pop a save. And then we'll head back out. We'll fly to where we need to go. And I think that it was best kind of pre-recording all this instead of streaming all this. That way I could like talk without having to talk to chat, and I was very like clear-headed and able to like explain everything. But now we can kind of well, see, I'm up early today. My sleep is kind of wonky right now, so like it's almost 7 a.m. It's a little too early to stream, but I'm wide awake and I feel like working on something, so I guess we'll just let this be a pre-recorded episode, as everything doesn't have to be, streamed, I guess. All right, that's what we'll do. We'll just let today be special. Okay, I think we had to get the national decks to unlock. Yeah, okay, that's what it was. So when we first got to the fight area before, there were people standing here blocking our path, and it required us to go back and get the national decks. Ooh. Well, that would have come in handy trying to work on the Pokédex. Wow, 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 ba da, ba da, ba da. Oh yeah, we need to go up to Stark Mountain and get, I think that's where Heatran is. Wanna say. Let's see what wild Pokemon are up here. I guess I have a repel on. I need to clip my nails. Machoke. Oh yeah, you'll find wild Pokemon like we've never seen anywhere else in Sinnoh. You lied. You flat out lied. Ooh. Taylor. Taylor is relatively small. Low battery. Please charge. There we go. All right. Give me a second. Can't reach. The wire is out of my reach. All right. Let my earbuds be charging while we do the recording session. Ooh, a Pidgeot. Dun 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 dun. Yeah, I'm down to just 2 pairs of earbuds. I don't know, for some reason, and I don't really understand it, modern televisions, the speakers are always on the back, and they always sound god awful. I fucking hate modern television speakers. So not only that, but I got so used to using headphones when I was like a teenager and in my 20s because I used to watch a lot of horror movies, and there was a lot of screaming and cussing and sex, and you know, I would watch a lot of just, I guess, rated R movies. And then I got where I was watching television stuff like South Park, where they were cussing every other word. My parents were not by any means a fan of that shit. They were hardcore, like straight and narrow Christian type, like you're not gonna watch that kind of stuff, you know. But when I got older, they let me kind of decide for myself, you know, what I watch. When I got to be like a teenager, and I don't mean 13, 14, I mean like 15, 16, 17, they kind of just let it go. And like, you're an adult now, you can choose what you watch. I liked that. I thought that was good. But yeah, I just got so used to watching stuff with headphones on because they didn't want to hear blaring TV. You know, they didn't want to hear South Park. Not to mention, there was just, It felt awkward to me too. Just constant, you know, sex talk. Everything is sex. Sex permeates every fucking show, movie, game. It's just everywhere. Everybody's a horny little fucker. And that feels awkward when you're at your parents' house and you got the TV on and it's just sex, 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 sex. And it's, I just got used to headphones, and it's something that carried over into my adult life. Like when I did have a roommate, we used to sit and watch TV with, you know, through the speakers. We didn't use headphones. But then when he moved and it came back to just me living by myself, I just, I went back to using earbuds because I couldn't stand the, it sounded like AM radio. I cannot stand, and I don't have fancy like surround sound speakers and stereo speakers, and I've just never been that kind of person to have that kind of setup. So I don't know. My computer has Bluetooth, and I just get little Bluetooth earbuds, and I'm happy. I'm happy having it in my ear. It's just, I've done it this way for so many years that I could just use the television audio if I wanted. I don't have to use these. But I'm just so set in my ways now that I just can't imagine not using headphones. Because the audio quality is so much better. I don't know. I don't know. Okay, we're gonna have to switch out. Bibarel is not a good choice to fight. Luxray is, though. You know, I will say, I was very worried there for a little while. During our Pokemon Platinum playthrough, I was like, you know, how am I going to do this? How am I going to finish the Pokedex? It seemed like such an insurmountable task back when these games were new. Oh my God, there are 493 Pokemon now. Oh, it's going to take forever. Meanwhile, in current day, there's over 1,000. I don't know. It always did seem like such a big task. Not so much anymore. It's fine. Doesn't bother me now though, because I have so many in Pokemon Home, don't you know? I will say this too, our Pokemon Platinum playthrough is kind of creeping up to an end right here at the end of the year for us. As you guys know, as most of you know anyway, November 20th is our channel anniversary every year. And we always start the new year off with a Metroid playthrough. We always end the year strong with a like a roulette episode where we play a lot of different games from one console that we pick. That I kind of just pick and it's predetermined ahead of time. Platinum, I don't know if we're going to have Platinum completely finished before the 20th. Today's the 18th. I would need to work on this all today, and I just don't see that happening. There's still a lot left to do before we can call this playthrough done. Not only do we have the entire fight area and resort areas to go through and all the trainers to fight, we still have several legendaries to track down. We have Heatran. Oh, he knows or she knows Rest. We need to go back for Dialga and Palkia. I also need to figure out and find out whether or not we catch both. Actually, I can do that now. Hang on. Apparently I got messages. Ooh, I can open a pack in Pokemon Pocket TCG. Well, I'm gonna do that while we're sitting here recording this. Arbok. I guess I probably need to turn the volume off for it though. So yeah, we have Pokemon Go, we have Pokemon Sleep, we have Pokemon Pocket. Those are the 3 mobile Pokemon games that I'm running at the moment. Everybody else has Masters EX and all the other ones too. Now I did do a stupid thing. I thought that I was done playing Pokemon Sleep and I deleted my account. Which was a really stupid thing to do. Now I gotta start that all over from scratch. I also just learned that certain cars come in certain booster packs. I did not know that until like a day or 2 ago. And now I feel dumb. I don't know why I'm using a fighting attack on a dark type. Blaine! Yes! I'm trying to get all the gym leaders. Ooh, Victory Bell. Alright, I think Erica's now the only gym leader card I don't have. How about you get hit with Scythe? I got Blaine. Also, if you guys have not done so yet, I started a Pokemon Home series. It's not a game in the conventional sense, but it is software, so we're taking a look at it. I'd highly recommend everybody check out those episodes because it kind of not only gives you a tour of Pokemon Home, the app, the cloud service, it gives you a kind of a behind the scenes glimpse at all the Pokemon that I've managed to catch and raise during the Switch era, at least. I highly recommend you check out those videos. Get. Oh, cool. I can rent the Blaine deck now that I have that card. Yay, new rental deck. Now I can open my next booster pack in 11 hours, 8 minutes. Bum 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 bum. Everybody's roughly the same level. I like this area. I like the grass, the flowers, the trees. I like the fact that it's very unique. Visually, it's very nice. Ooh, Fearow. I thought there were gonna be Pokemon that I hadn't seen before. You lied to me. That's okay. I'm just as happy hanging out with you guys and chatting and battling trainers. I haven't been streaming much. I've been going to bed at like 5 a.m. give or take an hour and sleeping till like 4 or 4:30 p.m. I don't know what I said. I've been going to bed at 5 a.m. and sleeping. Basically, I've been going to bed when the sun comes up and getting up when the sun's going down, and that's been fucking with me. I take vitamin D gummies, so at least there's that, but it's still not healthy. It's not healthy for my mentals. It's not healthy for a plethora of reasons. But I also Something's been going on with my lungs. I'm not quite sure what it is. I got real scared there for a couple of days. Because I kind of been feeling winded now ever since I stopped using the CPAP machine. And, you know, I Googled it and they said there would be an adjustment period, naturally. But I think that I have acid reflux and I don't take anything for it. That's something I need to address during my next doctor's appointment. I've had it for decades and I should have been taking something because apparently it can cause a lot of damage. You get scar tissue issues in your esophagus, your lungs. It can cause cancer later in life. My mom just recently had a screening because she has it too, and she has a lot of damage. But I think I've been kind of sleeping. I think because of my weight, I think I put such an indent when I, you know, in my bed or couch or whatever, because you guys know I sleep on the couch. I don't have a bed. I think that I've kind of sunk it in, so I'm kind of sleeping head down at a tilt, and that's causing fluid to come up into my lungs. And so I put a bunch of pillows and shit and kind of raised my head back up. And now, like a day or two later, I think it's starting to recover, because I was winded as shit. Tyler and I started our Half-Life playthrough and I didn't talk as much. Whatever else I've been playing recently, I'm having a brain fart moment. I haven't been talking quite as much because I'm so winded, but I feel like I might be on the mend. I don't feel as winded today talking as much as I have been this morning. So hopefully everything will be okay. I'm gonna finally just do the damn thing that I should have been doing all this time. I'm gonna be hella fasting, because I'm doing, every month that goes by, I'm doing a little bit better and a little bit better and a little bit better mentally. It's been a very slow process, very slow. And I think I'm finally getting to the point where I'm not, I feel like I could control myself a little better than I could just a few months ago. And I think that's a good place to be. It still probably couldn't hurt for them to have a good looky-see. Maybe do an x-ray or something, just to rule out anything else, you know. But I don't have any health insurance, so that's not great. Dawn fan. Okay. Oh, Terra. I've grown to appreciate grass type Pokemon more in the last few years. I used to not care for them at all, but Venusaur and Torterra have really grown on me more than a lot of the others. I'd have to say those two more than the others, but all grass Pokemon in general are starting to grow on me. Starting to see their full potential. Ooh, Golduck. I would still very much like to teach Sunny Day to Torterra. Then we could just spam Solar Beam. Why didn't that do much? Is it because of the amnesia? Yeah. Okay. Well, this is a physical and not a special, so this ought to fuck you up. I guess it's been a while. We should probably go to a store and sell a lot of our crap. Make sure we're stocked up on potions and stuff. Probably couldn't hurt to take a tour of our TMs and see what we have. It's been a while since I've done any of that stuff. I've been so focused on, you know, breeding and evolving. We're just gonna straight up go with Magmortar. Magmortar! One shot. This is probably a rest house. Yeah, kinda. No one knows where Pokemon originated. That's true. We've been able to piece together a few clues over time, though. I think the most telling era of Pokemon as far as like their origins are concerned, a lot of people would say like, oh, Arceus, Sinnoh, you know, that whole thing. The lake spirits giving life to the world, and Dialga and Palkia being the masters of space and time, and yada yada yada. Arceus being the first Pokemon and birthing everything, and da 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 da. For me, it was during the Sun and Moon era. You know, when you start going through the ultra wormholes and you kind of see that even light years away in other galaxies, you're still running into some of the same Pokemon. Like, it's not how I would think life works for us in our reality. But then again, I stop and think about like how many different minerals there are on Earth and other planets. Water seems to be universal because there's water on other planets. So maybe it's just when we think about evolution, like we think about all life on Earth being specific to Earth, and we don't really stop and think about like animals would look different on different planets. Yeah, I think that's the general consensus. That's kind of what it's kind of universal at this point, you know, given what we know about evolution. Hell, life looks so alien here on Earth sometimes. People will look at a platypus and be like, oh, that shouldn't exist. That's weird. But no, you'd go through the wormhole, the ultra wormholes, and like I remember having that. I remember it distinctly. I went through the ultra wormhole and I ran into Zapdos, and I thought, well, you're like billions or more light years away from the Pokemon world, yet you're still a Zapdos. That has to be significant, right? Maybe if it weren't Game Freak, I don't know. I don't know how much stock internally like Game Freak puts behind Pokemon lore. I kind of feel like a lot of Nintendo products, and I know that Game Freak is not Nintendo directly. But most Nintendo games are made with the game being made first and the story being secondary. And I kind of feel that's the way Pokemon is. The game's made first, the story comes second. So I don't know. That Terra leak that just happened recently, everybody was kind of weirded out over some of the like unused concepts that the development team had come up with. I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't know. Everybody's gonna use electric Pokemon all of a sudden. I think I probably will have to take me a nap at some point. I don't think I'll make it the rest of the day. But I had to do something. I needed some sunlight. I'd go into bed at sun up and then waking up at sundown. Worst part of winter. I hate it so much. And it's still autumn. It's still November. Winter doesn't even begin until like late December. Like, here's the thing. When it comes to autumn and winter, I love fall because I love the foliage. I love the temperature change. I love everything about it except for it getting dark early. I hate that so fucking much. Winter, I don't mind the cold. I don't mind the darkness. I just mind it getting dark so early. That's my big hang up. Tropius. Ah, somebody's using the seals. But like I was saying earlier, going back to the completion of this game, I don't think we're gonna quite complete Pokemon Platinum before the 20th. Pokemon Platinum is gonna end up being both a year 7 and a year 8 game. All this is arbitrary, of course. We're not a TV station or anything like that. None of it matters. Honestly. We really need somebody that knows cut. We'll have to rework this route with somebody that knows cut. Alright, since we're only running into crap, I think we should use a repel. Survival area. Ooh, we can at least heal up. Members only. What shenanigans is this? Some say the universe was shaped by something born from an egg. A man I met long ago told me that. Interesting. See gym leaders going there every so often. Oh, I bet it's like a rematch, rebattle place. Let's sell some crap, shall we? I'm never gonna use the shard bullshit. Get it out my face. I don't need it at all. I haven't fully recovered. I still feel a little winded after all that doodly doing. Not as much as the other day, though. Green shard. How many Pokeballs? Oh, we have too many Pokeballs as it is. Actually, we may not need any items. We don't need any items. We might have sold all that crap for no reason. Nah, it's okay. Is your bag full of items or is it full of dreams? Yeah, both. Oh, fuck you. We have a lot of really good TMs now, though. But unfortunately, this bullshit permeates every aspect of our playthrough. Please have us something stupid. Hyper Beam is so useless. We'll just get rid of Hyper Beam. It really is so useless. A once mighty attack. Oh, that was fortunate for us. We got lucky. We sent out just the right Pokemon for the job. Starting to get pretty sleepy. No. Hitmonchan. At least it's not Hitmonlee. I've seen enough of those for a lifetime. Berries. Don't really need them, but I'll take them. Oh, my back is acting up too. A lot berry. Omeg. I assume I'm pronouncing that correctly. Let's see, where are regular items? Oh. I guess that would explain why I'm not running into stuff. No, 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 no. Do, 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 do. If you turn, damn. I was gonna say, if it turns, we can get a cool double battle out of this. Fine, 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 fine. Do whatever you want. If you want to just fight one-on-one, I can handle that. Oh, shit. He has dragons. I have a very lovely bird. Bird. Remember when the internet just started calling birds burbs? I don't know. Doggo, burbs. There was a lot of like internet slang. I thought it was cute at first for 2 seconds. And that was because I was on a lot of Lexapro at the time. Now, I find it annoying as shit. I hate that aspect of my life. I hate that aspect of my brain and my brain chemistry. I'm highly annoyed by stuff that I shouldn't be highly annoyed by. I don't have a happy life. People just having cutesy, harmless fun irritates me. I guess it's a jealousy thing in my subconscious because my life is miserable and I'm never having any fun. It's like, how dare you have fun? I am a grammar Nazi, though. At the end of the day, I do insist people try to use English the best they can. I don't expect everybody to be super great when it comes to English because our education system is high garbage. But once you learn something, I do expect you to do better. My Pokemon grew up in the arms of Mother Nature. Bird versus bird. I guess if I do go back to sleep, I think one of the things I'd like to do is just kind of take a nap. I think I'll leave the door open and the window open and let some sun in. I mean, this plant back here that's a real plant. It needs actual sunlight. And when I don't get any sunlight, it doesn't get any sunlight. So I'm very worried about that. Damn. It is nice though, because this year is the first, I think this is the first November in a long time where we just, we're getting a break. We had Let's Go Pikachu and it was released in November, I think. And then Sword and Shield, then the DLC for Sword and Shield was November. Scarlet and Violet were November, then their DLCs were November. It's nice to get a goddamn break. Energy ball. Wow. Ah, fuck, how do I get down from here? Doobie doop boobity boo. Uh-oh. You know what? I'm gonna fight you anyway. Anyhow. Is it anyhow or anyway? I've heard both my whole life. Ooh, a water route with water trainers. I am not ready for that. We might do that another day. Yeah. Maybe. Let me see how far this route goes. If it's not a long route, we might shoot across. Okay, there's a building here. Konnichiwa! Glad to meet you. Guten Tag. Language, parlance. Ooh, we were just talking about language, weren't we? Se passe? Comprendo? Sniff, sniff. I smell you. I smell something about you. There is no question you are a lover of Pokemon, just like me. This is wunderbar, which is wonderful in German, I think. So, this is what I will do. I will power up your Pokedex. Ooh. Jesus, I can't read that. I, the Meister, have visited. How Uber, which is super in German. I'm thinking about learning German. I did try to learn Spanish when I was in school, and I've told that story on the channel before about how a bunch of asshole kids kind of ruined that for me. They just cut up the whole year, and I really didn't get to learn anything. I was thinking about Japanese over the years because I do so much video game stuff. And of course it would be nice to maybe be able to understand some Japanese when you try to watch anime or whatever, but I haven't really watched anime since the early 2000s. You know, I watched Trigun and Bebop and all that stuff on Adult Swim, Big O, Samurai Champloo. I watched all that stuff, and then I watched through Full Metal Alchemist, and that was kind of just it for me. But German, I don't know, maybe German for some reason seems to be the easiest for me to understand. I don't know what it is. It might be an ancestry thing for me, given that my ancestors are from Germany. You know, my last name is Horn, which is shortened when they came to America from Van Horn, which again is German. My mom's side is Irish, my dad's side is German, so if I'm going to learn a language, it might maybe German. I don't know. I don't think I have the mental fortitude to learn a new language, I'll be honest with you. But something European would be nice. I don't know. I know that I very much want to visit Norway, Finland, Poland, Greenland, Iceland, all the lands, Scotland, Ireland. I want to visit a lot of those places. I guess maybe London. Maybe. Germany would be nice to visit. Just all of Europe, I guess, in general would be nice. I know some of those countries I named are not part of Europe. I get that. I'm just generalizing for the purposes of conversation. I guess Russia's out. Just because of the political climate there. It's too dangerous. China would be nice. Japan would be nice to visit. I would visit Australia if it wasn't home to the most dangerous, freaky, giant spiders and animals on Earth. It's also one large desert continent, and I ain't about that life. I'm not a fan of the desert. So, no offense, Australia, but I honestly have no reason to come visit you. I'll come down there to your general vicinity and visit, why am I blank? New Zealand. I would love to go to New Zealand. Africa, maybe. I don't really know what I would do in Africa other than like go on the little safari wildlife tours. Not really anything there for me to see other than like the wildlife. I'd go to Canada, Mexico, kick around South America a little bit, I guess. I don't really know what I would do in any of the countries in South America because I'm very ignorant about any of the countries south of the Mexican border there. I don't really know what goes on down south. I think I'm kind of willing to go most places on Earth, with the Middle East being the exception. You know, Middle East can go fuck itself with a hot iron rod. There's no love lost between me and that hellhole of scum and villainy. Grappler. I'm trying to think in my head of where else. I don't know. I think that's pretty much it. I think I would travel pretty much, give or take, like I said, anywhere on Earth. I'm open to experiencing pretty much every other culture. And like I said, I don't have anything against Africa. It's just I don't know what I would experience there outside of like the wildlife. Because I'm very ignorant about the various cultures there. Because Africa is like a ridiculously large continent full of many small countries, and each one varies from the other, you know, and they have their own customs there. And I don't know a lot about Africa. I really just don't know a lot about it. I'd go. I just, again, I don't know what I would experience when I get there. Russia, I would visit again if the political climate was different. As long as Putin is in charge and they're like very anti-LGBTQ, I don't think it's safe there for general Americans, even like LGBTQ aside. I just don't think it's safe for Americans to go to Russia right now. I could be wrong. Again, I'm very ignorant about it. I don't know. But until they change their policies, I'm just not in a big hurry to get there. Not the desert. All right, that's a whole other route. Okay. This is also a whole other route. Okay. So we have a couple of routes ahead of us. How's our team looking? Star Raptor's a little worse for the wear. We'll do that. And then, because we have tons of healing items, we could just do this. I'm always worried that I'm gonna offend somebody or say something that's gonna get me canceled. That's something I've worried about since day one on YouTube, is that I'm always gonna open my big fat mouth and get my whole shit shut down. But you know what? I think that ship has sailed recently, like especially after the elections we just had in the States. I don't give a fuck anymore. So done. But anywho, that's beside the point with this show. I think that's going to do it for today's episode. We covered a lot of ground. We grabbed Groudon. We finished our Pokedex up until the Sinnoh section. So what we're going to do when we come back in next time is we're going to focus on continuing to travel around these routes, battle the trainers. If we see any Pokemon that we need, obviously we'll catch them. I hate using the repel to the extent that we are, but running into all the same stuff over and over is just really slowing us down. Stark Mountain has Heatran, which we need to go catch at some point. I don't think it's as easy as just scaling the mountain or going into the mountain and catching it. I think there's a whole bullshit thing that we have to go back and forth with to do. I'll have to look into that. We do need to make our way down to the resort area. There's some stuff there I want to say for us to do. As far as Sinnoh itself, I think we're more or less done outside of like the honey tree stuff, which I will. Well, I say I'll work on it, but I've worked on this game so much the past week, just doing behind the scenes stuff, that I'm a little burnt out. So I think since we're coming up on the 20th, and we're entering a new year for the channel, we're going to focus, we're going to be focusing on Metroid. Tyler and I are working on Half-Life 2. We're still working on Monster Hunter Rise, which we need to get back on. The platinum is just, we're going to squeeze this game in where we can. So, all right, that's going to do it for this episode. Thank you guys for hanging out. Sorry this wasn't a streamy stram, but pre-recorded. I forgot how nice it feels sometimes just to pre-record. There's no pressure to be on. There's no pressure to like constantly worry about reading chat. I can just kind of come on, play the game, and shut my brain off. It was nice, but we should be back to streaming in the next one. Oh, see you folks.